Today is Saturday, November 25th, 2017. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is the Listener Feedback Show for Survivor Season 35, Episode 9.
It's our Listener Feedback Show. It's the third episode that we do every week when we have an episode of Survivor. First, Joanne and I do the recap. Normally, the second thing that we put out is an interview, but that won't come until Monday this week. And then we do the Listener Feedback Show. So the order's a little backwards this week because of Thanksgiving here in the States. But we'll have an interview with Cole hopefully on Monday for you. And this week the Listener Feedback Show is going to come before that. How many folks did we have? I was thinking it might be low because of the holiday. 16. So we got serious super fans. They're dying to talk about Survivor. Let's get to it.
All right.
First up, we got a call from Pete.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. This is Pete from Boston here. And I gotta say, woo! Now let's sing. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, goodbye. Cole had it coming. Well, he technically won't reunite with Barbie Jessica because Jessica's not on Ponderosa, but he got to reunite with Desi instead, which I'm sure he had a great time. Now he can have all the food he wants to catch up with his calories. But wow, guys, Cole, as we know, he was a challenge beast, but he did not know how to play the game. Plain and simple. So yes, I'm glad he's gone, but what a crazy episode, though. Even though the outcome was anticlimactic, I have no idea what Dr. Mike was thinking about. Okay, I like that he was trying to stir the pot, or maybe he was trying to force the majority to put votes on him so he could play his idol and vote out Ben. But you know what? I don't get it, because why would Dr. Mike and Joe vote Cole out and Mike play the idol? Makes no sense to me, guys. I'm sure everyone else agrees, too. What do you guys think there? Wow. And then Ben saying he's not a dictator, but really he is running the show. I mean, Ben is clearly a great player here, but now he's got to watch out. As you saw, Ashley and who was it, Chrissy, that were all almost on the verge of turning on him to get rid of Crazy Joe, but that never happened. But I'm curious to see what happens with this double boot here. Oh, and by the way, kudos to Lauren there for sticking it out and beating all those men, especially Cole, in that endurance immunity challenge. I could see how grueling that might have been. I give her a lot of credit, and that's what led to Cole's demise. And even Ryan put up quite a battle and finished third there. Good for him on finally not finishing last. But wow, we got a double elimination coming up next week. I'm praying it's not Joe and Dr. Mike that go, because that's the obvious. You hate to have predictable double boots. Hopefully it's a huge, blind side after blind side, back to back, and we get tons of gameplay and more idols and advantages are found. That's what makes double boots fun. But what do you think, guys? What was Dr. Mike thinking about is my question, because I really don't get it. And will the alliance start turning on each other and maybe get rid of Ben, who's the biggest threat? I don't know, guys. Let's see. Well, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and have a lot of fun. All right, guys, take care. Whoa.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, we talked a lot about that during the recap, too, because it was so confusing what was really going on with Mike. And we were just watching the episode again while we were having some lunch before we sat down to record this. And I think the thing that stands out the most is that what Mike said at the beginning of the episode. He was told what to do and who to vote for, and that person didn't go out. Ben told him to vote for Joe, and Desi went. So he didn't know for sure. It was like whoever they told him was going, someone else was going. And it wasn't Joe or Cole, so he had reason to be worried. Now, why he went about it the way he did, that'll be something maybe we can clear up with Mike. I looked around to see if there were some extra tweets or any explanation for it, and I didn't see it.
Well, because he initially said they needed to go after one of the 7.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't do that. They went after Cole.
Right. He followed orders just like he had before, but he protected himself.
Yeah, I guess. I just wasn't quite sure.
Yep, it's going to remain a mystery for now.
I just feel like we missed a lot of that.
We definitely missed some stuff. I mean, you can tell when they're going through tribal and Probst is talking about, the chaos and all the things that were discussed. And
I didn't see that.
We're sitting there wondering, what is he referring to? Because we didn't see a roller coaster and we didn't see chaos. And we just saw some people whispering. That isn't craziness the way he seemed to be describing it.
Yeah, and some of the expressions Chrissy made once, I'm like, why is she making that face? Because nobody just said anything that she would have made that face about.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I was a little confused.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're going to come to it because there's the big theme, and Pete alluded to a little bit too, Ben the Dictator. It's put out there that way in the course of the episode, but if you watch a little closer, he actually does he does offer an explanation to Ashley when she wants to know why Mike and not Joe. But what they did was they cut Ben out, so you don't get to hear his explanation. You just get to hear Ashley being frustrated that it's not Joe, and she doesn't like that. And it's Chrissy who is actually the one who puts out there she frames the story of Ben the Dictator. She presents him that way, and it's interesting to see how that all comes together. If you have the time to go back and rewatch it, they're framing this story arc for Ben, and it's not necessarily there. Even in the extra videos, you can hear his explanations and why. Now, he thought not going for Cole was a dumb idea, and he does say that. It's dumb. But he does offer explanations, and in both cases, he answered Chrissy's question, too. Is Chrissy and Ashley did not like the answer. Now, I know from working on the audio, a lot of people agree that Ben was a dictator, and they're going to talk about that. But
again, you feel like the editing had some control over how we thought.
A huge control.
Watching the extra clips, it was like,
there's something up, right?
Yeah. It's a little different when you watch the extra clips.
This is a spin on how Ben handled this. I don't think it's necessarily how because it's like I said in the recap, there's, for example, between you and me, there's what I want and there's what you want. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't make me a dictator for wanting what I want, and it doesn't make you a dictator for wanting what you want. It's just that we don't want the same thing, and that was really what I heard in Ben, Ashley, and Chrissy's discussion. And he does offer explanations. He does answer questions.
Well, it could, again, just be part of the story.
Stuff. And there's other portions that were eliminated we didn't get to see. So we don't get to see the whole thing. We know that, too. All right. Thanks, Pete. Good job. Next up, we got an email from Tina in Virginia. Dear Joanne and Stacy, I hope you two did not eat as much as I did over Thanksgiving. Well, we did eat our fair share, I think. But, okay, Tina continues. Just a little about this episode before I head out to follow one of your listeners' advice and watch Murder on the Orient Express. Ryan messed up this episode, so while his star sank a little lower, Devin's star rose higher. Devin is not only good-looking, but he seems to be a thinker and a good person. I wish him well. Ryan was one of my favorites, but his weasel moves and him constantly trying to appear witty is getting a little old for me. Chrissy and Ryan do seem very solid. I can't wait to see what happens with that friendship. I have mixed feelings about Bossy Ben. I do generally like him, but he does appear to be focused on his own game, that he may come off too strong for other players, and that may cost him the game. Ease up a little, Ben. I love the Mike and Joe show. I don't understand Joe's thinking, even if he gets to the end. Will anyone vote for him? I don't think so, but more importantly, what do you both think? Do you want to answer that?
He'd have to do some really great maneuvering.
Yeah, it's not there right now. Here, for me, bottom line, no. Joe is a troll, and he's trolling people. He's aggravating them for fun and as basically his last resource. It's the only thing that he has, in the hopes that they can carry him along because he's unliked, and then somehow he spins a wonderful story at the end, or again, he ends up there with some folks that didn't appear to do anything to get there, and maybe that it's such a socially mishandled example of things that it seems extremely unlikely that they would reward Joe the Troll
They don't
with that.
normally do that.
He's fostering such ill will in Ashley and Chrissy. The well's going to be poisoned against him.
That's what I'm thinking. It's already spoiled.
Yeah, he's... Everybody does the best they can with the tools that they have out there if they're really trying hard. Joe's really trying hard, so I don't doubt he's doing the best that he can. But his lack of social game, or the weakness in his social game, like others that we've seen before, makes it so it's really hard for him to actually win, even if somehow he got there, which would be getting dragged along, basically, because no one would vote for him. And he would be the goat that he described Ashley as being, the perfect goat. He is the most perfect goat from what we can see right now. Okay, Tina continues. I'm feeling good about almost all the players. They're giving us a good season. I like Mike, Devin, and Lauren the best. Mike does make some interesting faces, and I enjoyed him this episode. I hope all the fans have a good weekend. Take care. Thanks, Tina. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Shea.
Hey, guys, it's Shea. That was another really great episode. I think they all are. The challenges were beautiful. I remember the discussion you guys had a couple of weeks ago. Would you still watch it if it was in Fiji every season? And for me, yes, I would. It is true, though, that back in the day, where you went had a part in how the game was played out. Your elements did affect things. By staying in Fiji, you do lose that, but it is just so beautiful. And if my options were Fiji or no Survivor, Fiji wins all day long. Back to the episode. I loved it, and I found myself finally, I don't know if I'm rooting for people just yet, because I like so many people still, but I do have some people that I definitely dislike now, and oddly, it is not Joe, it is Chrissy. I don't know that Joe is such a creep in his real life. I think that's how he's chosen to play the game, to ruffle feathers. I don't know, it makes me wrong. He could be that way. I don't know. But I think Chrissy is a bossy person who thinks she's above and beyond other people. And I think she came in trying to play the mother hen, but her true colors are showing, and I don't like them at all. And I know next time on Survivor shows that some things are going to crack and change. I really hope that's true. I don't know, I guess I'm glad Cole's gone. I would have liked to have seen another really good blindside. Speaking of really good blindside, Ben, he got on my nerves a little bit. He really is trying to kind of force everybody to do what he wants. He really, for somebody who claims, it's the round table, he really didn't give anybody much time to speak on their thoughts and how they could imagine it playing out. He was just interrupting with, but we need to get rid of blah, blah, blah. And I feel bad for Dr. Mike because I think he thought he was going to shake the game up, and I think all he's really done is put a target on his back. I don't know. Hopefully things will go his way when the cracks in the 7 happen. But I think he was trying to piss everybody off and have them vote for him, and then him shock them with the idol, dun, dun, dun. But it just didn't quite work out that way. So anyway, just another great episode. I can't wait to hear what everybody else has to think. And again, I'm not sure who I think a front runner is, but I definitely know who I don't like at this point. And did I mention it's Chrissy? Okay, you guys have a great day. Can't wait to hear the show. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Shay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Chrissy's story arc, what happens here, if she gets the focus again or if she continues trending down. It made me think that she may rise back up given how they framed the whole Ben the Dictator story, and she got to basically be the one putting that out there.
Yeah, because we sure haven't seen them connecting. I don't know if they're hiding their relationship really well or it's no longer there, the trust, or what.
He's not talking about her, right? This episode, he talked about
Lauren
his
and
three.
Devin.
Yeah. His two. The
So
three
that
of them.
surprised me a lot.
Yeah, there's just no reference, and there hadn't been for a while.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens.
Next up, we got audio from Parker. He recorded his own this time. Sounds great.
Hey, it's Parker from Indiana, and this was a crazy episode. Oh my goodness. A lot of my favorites, they just made a lot of mistakes. Not like enough for me to go like, oh, these person sucks, I hate them now, they're my least favorite player, but just like Mike at Tribal, maybe not mistake, but, you know, he tried to play like Joe, and Joe's not a person you want to replicate his game, and I mean, I just found him annoying. He was just being too arrogant. And then with Ben and kind of like dictating the alliance, you don't need to do that. Chrissy was questioning about it. Ben was like, no, we have to do this. That is stupid. We have to do this. No. What you need to do is explain why this is better and go in depth about it. You can't just go, no, that's a bad idea. And then Ryan with telling Ben and Devin about the idol, he could have just solved that easily by just telling them together. Take them both and go, hey, I have an idol. And instead of telling them separately, and then that starts a whole thing. I am proud of Devin for, if need be, going his own way, you know, with Ben and turning against Ryan, because you never know if Ryan's going to beat you. You know, it's 50-50 shot with a real strategist. If you're sitting at the end, maybe he ticked off a bunch of people, or maybe you didn't do enough. So you never know. And so it's smart to go with Ben, even though I think Ben might be able to beat him, but I don't know. He's kind of rubbing people the wrong way too, because like every tribal council, he's up for the vote, and I'm just like, no, super stressed out. And once again, this tribal, wow. So I had Cole as my vote off, so really happy he didn't win immunity, and Lauren beat him, so that's just awesome. Like, I'm so great job, Lauren. I'm so proud of Lauren, because going in, I didn't think she'd make it half this far. I thought she'd be out. I didn't think she'd make it anywhere near the merge. I thought she'd be out before Tribe Swap. And she's out here, Final 10. She beats Cole in an immunity challenge. It's just awesome. Immunity challenge looks really hard, by the way. I would not have been able to do that. But one crazy tribal council. If I was there, I would have been so stressed out. I'm sure they were. And I was stressed out watching it. I was like, oh no, it's going to be Joe. Crap, I got it wrong. I should have put Joe as my vote off. And then I was like, no, it's going to be Ben. Wait, what? No, it can't be Ben. He's my winner. And then I was like, no, it's going to be Mike. Wait, Mike has an idol. And then finally it was Cole, and I was just like, oh good, I can rest knowing that I won't lose any vote up points or anything, or any safe points. I got everything right this week, so thank goodness. And Cole is finally gone. Woo! And next, let's just get out Joe. I mean, I know Lauren wants to start something, and that's fine, but do it after Joe's gone, please, for all our sakes. You don't need to prove yourself quite yet. Just please get out Joe, and then you can pick off whoever you want. You can keep Mike. I don't care. I like Mike. I just really hope that they can get Joe out and then start taking down the round table, but not Ben, because he has to win. All right. See you guys next time.
Thanks, Parker. Again, you did really good on that recording. Good job. Here's the catch with that. There are 9 left, right?
Yep.
How many do you need to take control here?
5.
5. Let's count 5. You ready?
Okay.
Lauren, Ashley, Devin. Here we go. Joe.
And Mike.
Mike. That's your 5.
Sure. That's
so
a 5.
This is a time to strike if you're going to turn the tables on the 7. This is the prime time. You have the numbers. Otherwise, you're looking at a tie.
A tie?
Mm-hmm. 4-4.
Why a tie?
If you were to go 4-4. Would just say they get rid of Joe, like Parker was saying, and they've still got Mike, then they've got 4. Lauren, Ashley, Devin, and Mike against JP, Ben, Chrissy, and Ryan. Ryan's got an idol that Devin knows about.
And Ben.
All right. Thanks, Parker. Next up, we got a call from Rodney. Rodney's back.
Hey, Survivor fans, it's Rodney from Illinois, and finally the bubonic plague has left my house, and I've recovered from surgery, and I actually got to get caught up on Survivor. So, first of all, I'm going to keep my feedback short just because I got the little ones today. Looking at the game, many people were confused on Mike and why Mike played as idol. I think it was smart to play as idol. First of all, people say, oh, Cole and Joe, those are the bigger targets, Well, who's been the bigger target for the last 2 weeks? Cole and Joe. Who's gone home? Jessica and Desi. So, yeah, I would play the idol if I was Mike, too, because there's no saying that just because they're telling you to vote Cole, and that you're safe, that you're going to be safe. So playing the idol kept him safe, and throwing the extra 2 votes onto Cole kind of helped to ensure that if in fact the minority did vote for Cole gets to go home as the secondary vote. So yes, it does look like he played right into their hands, but it actually is the optimal move for him as well. And then the other big thing that I've been seeing everywhere is that Chrissy cannot win the game. I think that's wrong. I think Chrissy absolutely could win the game. All Chrissy has to do is bring 2 people to the end that are either equally dirty or equally hated, i.e., Ryan and Joe. You bring Ryan has a lot of dirt on his hands. He's part of every vote, but can be used as more of the minor pawn. And Joe, everybody hates. You bring Joe to the end, you guarantee that he gets low votes. So in a bitter jury, she has the best chance of winning. So those are my thoughts, and can't wait to see next episode.
Excellent. I'm glad you're feeling better, and we liked your analysis there.
And we know that Ben doesn't want to get rid of Joe. Because he's like, nobody likes him. I want to keep him.
Sure.
They're not looking at me if Joe's still in the game.
Right.
I don't know if that's 100% true, but Ben believes it.
Yep. That's what you mentioned that in that extra video, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Good deal. Thanks again, Rodney. Next up, we got email from Sarah in Jamul.
Hi, Joanna and Stacy. I hope you had a lovely Thanksgiving.
We did.
Cheers to another great episode. I was inspired by a famous holiday poem this week. I apologize if it's a bit long. I would also like to send belated birthday wishes to my Aunt Rhonda from Portland, who celebrated another rotation around the sun on Thursday. Happy belated birthday, Rhonda.
Yeah.
'Twas the night before Thanksgiving, and you know what that means. Survivor will soon play on our TV screens. The JSFL picks were chosen with care, in hopes a vote-off point would soon be there. And I, on a whim, picked Cole to go home, though, to be honest, I wasn't sure it would be him. The episode started with Jeff's recap, and I found myself on the edge of my seat with a snap, when what before my wandering eyes should appear, but my USB Ryan spilling secrets so dear. And when Ben and Devin had their little chat, I was certain Ryan's fate had been sealed just like that. Out on the beach, Jeff called them to come. An immunity challenge was now to be won. More rapid than eagles, the castaways they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Devin, now Ryan, now Ben, Mike, and Christy. Oh, Lauren, on Joe, Cole, Ashley, and JP. To the top of your station, don't let that vase fall. Now squat away, squat away all. Another balance challenge? I groaned and rolled my eyes, but Lauren beat out Cole to my happy surprise. Back at camp, everyone seemed to be lost in chatter. Ben set out his plan, and the rest to him didn't matter. Dr. Mike saw right through this and made up his mind. I couldn't hold my excitement. Would this be the big move time? A rather quick tribal, though it was still great. How about Dr. Mike setting them up to take the bait? Is he pulling a Joe? I asked with a smirk, because his antics pre-idol sure did seem to work. And as Cole's torch was at once quickly snuffed out, I leapt to my feet and started to shout. I got a vote-off point. That guy was the worst. It's a Thanksgiving miracle. My heart just burst. I sincerely hope this episode brought everyone such delight. Happy holidays to you all, and to all a good night.
That was excellent.
That was awesome, Sarah.
Yeah, good job.
Really well done.
Superb. Good deal.
Very creative.
Next up, we got a call from Ann and John.
Hi, Joanna and Stacy and Survivor fans. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving or just a great day if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving. My son John wanted to say something also.
This is John. Happy Thanksgiving.
I just finished watching Survivor tonight, but I wanted to call in because I'm going to be doing a lot of driving tomorrow, and I figured I'd probably forget. So this was an enjoyable episode, even though I thought it was somewhat predictable. If Cole didn't win immunity, then he would get voted out, but I like how they at least gave you some doubt about who was going home. Dr. Mike did a great job of playing his idol at the right time, and hopefully he'll find it again. Hopefully that mixes things up, and something else will change. I think people are getting frustrated with Ben being so bossy, so hopefully they'll realize that if they don't step in, he'll be the one at the final 3. So I really liked the immunity challenge and the reward challenge. I thought Ashley it was just amazing to watch her swim. That was really cool. And I was super impressed by Lauren. Thought she did a great job, and I'm just really enjoying watching her, the way she plays the game. She's really good at just letting stuff run down her back and not letting people bother her, even though you can tell it's annoying her. She doesn't let other people know that. So that's really a good trait for Survivor. I'm amazed that she won against Cole in the immunity challenge. That was just super impressive. So yeah, I'm really enjoying Survivor this season. And everybody have a great weekend, and talk to you soon.
Excellent. Thanks, Ann. Thanks, John. Next up, we got a call from Drew's crew.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. Hey, everyone. This is Drew and
Joey.
And
Adelaide. And Daddy.
And Daddy. Yep,
And
just
Dad.
the 3 of us today doing a quick recording.
And then we're going to watch the show.
And then we'll watch a show. Okay, so...
I want to watch the show.
Yes, Saturday morning cartoons. Just a few thoughts about this week's episode. I thought it was good. I don't like how my USB has been brought up as the alternative option for the last 2 weeks in a row. Right after the merge and right after the chance to switch. But I'm still really liking Ben. I think he has a lot of different options and a lot of different directions he could go. And I think he's savvy enough to realize all the different directions. So I'm liking how that is looking. Challenge is good, some good drama. I was kind of upset about the reward challenge because I just wanted that other tribe to win it so very much. But I guess it didn't really have an impact on the healer's performance in the immunity challenge anyway, because well, it might have given them some strength, but when it comes down to it, then no. I actually am enjoying this pogonging. I really hope that it just continues all the way to the end. Joe next, and then maybe you can mix it up after that. Mike is okay. I have to say that Mike is, from what we've seen, is kind of disenchanting this week. I thought he could have been really smart to just flip on his alliance, and then after they get out Joe and Cole, then he can start to make his moves. I thought that his move at the tribal council was kind of, like Joanne was saying, it didn't make sense to me, and I didn't know why he was doing that. He had that smug look on his face, like he was like, yeah, I'm doing so awesome, making such a good move. I said all these great sound bites Jeff is gonna love, and I don't know what that accomplished, except made him a lot more vulnerable and a lot more of a target, because he wasn't the one they were suspecting the most of having an idol and being shady, and now look. I would not be able to keep someone as aggravating as Joe around. I think that Chrissy and Ashley, it's so hard not to engage with someone like that, but when they finally just Chrissy at least finally just walked away, I said that is what you need to do, because he's just doing it on purpose, just doing it to get a rise out of them, which I think is really, I don't know, I want to say juvenile, but I know that it's part of his game, but I also wonder if it's just part of his personality. Who knows? I think Devin is doing some smart things. I think Ryan is just kind of, I don't know, losing it. I'm still liking Ben a lot and Ashley better than before. JP I think is hilarious because he really is just not there. He might as well just be, well, I guess he's the epitome of the strong silent type. So, goodbye Cole, I'm not sorry to see you go. It's really weird, but I'm just really tired of seeing Cole's bottom teeth. Does anyone know what I mean by that? It seems like every time he talks or smiles, all I can see is bottom teeth. I'm tired of it. And I'm also tired of this hunky dingaling prototype that they're always bringing on. I know it's just eye candy and it's for ratings, but come on. It's like embarrassing how dumb they come across. So tired of that, but I got a vote out point, so I'll take it. I think it's my first one this season. Loser of the week, Cole, Joe, Mike, any of the healers, take your pick. Winner of the week, I guess Devin. He's found himself in a pretty good spot right now. Alright, I think that's all. We better put on some cartoons for these kids riot over their Saturday morning rights. Though it's weird, like Saturday morning cartoons, like they were when we were kids, are not a thing anymore. It's really interesting. But it's like cartoons are always on, but we don't put them always on. And I still want to make Saturday morning a special time. But anyway, I'm going on and on. Hey, Charlie, do you have anything else to say?
No.
Do you have anything else to say, Adelaide?
I don't know.
You don't know? I guess that means no. Alright, everyone. What? Oh, Kitty has something?
I know.
Kitty wants to watch a show. Kitty, by the way, you recall, is not Waffles. Kitty is small white stuffed kitty. So, all right, everyone have a great weekend. I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. We sure did, and really been enjoying the long weekend. So, talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
All right, good job. So that's pretty mean of Drew making fun of Cole, huh? Cole's got an underbite. That's why, Drew. That's why you see his lower teeth.
Why are you picking on Drew?
This was funny. He may not have. I don't think Drew noticed that Cole has an underbite, and that's why, because of the orientation of his bite, you see his lower teeth more. Because you don't see that in a lot of people, but definitely Cole seems to have an underbite.
I was going to say something about Joe because he's just so obnoxious in some of the scenes, but when you watch some of the extra clips, he just seems like a regular guy.
He's a regular guy. It's a race between him and JP, who says more times in the course of one of their
That's
videos.
Your pet peeve.
Well, it's one of them. It's a filler word. Yeah.
Or like.
These two guys.
Like.
Yeah, like is for, usually that's younger than these two, right? These two guys say to an irritating point. Like it's actually even worse than having to listen to Rourke end her sentences and have her voice pitch up at the end. So everything sounds like a question. The is coming out of Joe and JP are just, it's staggering. It's like a machine gun.
Okay, you're showing your little things now. Your little pet peeves.
Yeah, the thing with Joe's a troll. Internet rule 14, do not feed the trolls. Ashley fed the troll. What has she got? More troll. And he became an even bigger troll. Chrissy did the right thing. She walked away, disengaged. No, she put no energy into the troll. That's the smart thing to do. That's how you shut them down, because they feed off your energy. Thanks, Drew. Next up, we got a call from Kenny.
Hey, guys. It's Kenny from Dallas, calling from Miami, where I go once or twice a year. Luckily, with iTunes, I'm able to watch the Survivor episode late at night, so I was able to watch it, and I really did enjoy it. And I have to say, I'm getting tired of Jeff saying the same stuff over and over. You'll know when Survivor will have jumped the shark when Jeff will talk about a reward challenge, and then we'll say, you want to know what you're playing for, and the Survivors say no and then turn their back to him. But it was a very exciting episode. I have to side with Joanne in this case. Certainly, she was right with her argument about Ben being portrayed as too bossy. Score one for Joanne in this case. And for Ryan, somehow he knew I was out of town. He's telling everyone that he has the immunity idol. He even called me during the episode to tell me he had the immunity idol. I think maybe we are starting to see his downward arc. As for Joe, I don't know what he's doing. If he thinks he's going to make himself such a big target that they won't want to vote for him because he'd be a goat, I don't think that's such great gameplay. But the loser in gameplay this episode has to go to Mike. Oh, my goodness. He tries to say all these crazy things and then makes this big announcement at the tribal council how he's giving up his idol, he's using his immunity idol, and what a great move it is. And then he looks like a stooge because really not many people voted for him. I don't think he's got it in him to win this game. Who has it in to win this game? I'm not so sure. I hope someone who's kept a relatively low profile like Devin or Lauren is able to pull it off. I'd like to see some kind of a upset victory this season. As for Ben, telling people what to do, bossing them around. Maybe if it was that season with Rob and the 19 Dwarves, the Redemption Island thing where he could tell people whatever to do, that we would get away with that. But I think Ben is starting to rub people the wrong way. Couldn't agree with Joanne more. So I think Ben is not long for this game. Who knows who's going to win this game? I think it's a very, very good season. And I do thank you for putting on this podcast. It's just about the only reality show I watch aside from Amazing Race. And it's fun to hear your thoughts on the game and hear some other people's thoughts too. So I do appreciate it. And I'm going down to the Keys tomorrow, and I know they're thankful for whatever they have after the devastating hurricane they had a little while ago. I hope they're doing it.
All right. Thanks, Kenny. Next, we have an email from Josh, the Plush Moose from Massachusetts.
Dear Joanne and Stacy, it was very fitting that this episode aired around Thanksgiving because the episode played like a bad Thanksgiving gathering. There was an overbearing patriarch, Ben, a manipulative matriarch, Chrissy, dry turkey, the Pagongi, a drunk uncle who talked a lot without saying anything intelligible, Dr. Mike, An oblivious guest known for hogging the drumsticks, Cole, an opinionated relative who just won't shut up, Joe, and a young'un chafing at having to sit at the kiddie table, Ashley. My other observations, I'm bum-puzzled that nobody could count and Lauren got away with hoarding her vote. In case you haven't heard, Ryan has an idol in his pants. At the reward challenge, Jeff confirmed that there are coconuts and rice at camp. The rumor that JP is actually a life-size action figure must be true. Neither one needs to come up for air when submerged. I chafed when Jeff disparaged Ben's shooting as granny style. That shot helped Rick Barry get into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Watching Joe search endlessly for hidden idols reminds me of watching squirrels at a bird feeder. They never stop trying either. Funny, I didn't realize that full moons in Fiji occur during the daytime. Joe raised his goat. Yeah, it's like 4 full moons, wasn't it? Joe raised his GOAT quotient by arguing with Chrissy and Ashley, but he's aiming for the Russell spot, 2nd place. I love the irony. Ben built trust with Devin by lying to Ryan. If karma exists, Ryan will get caught with his pants down in a blindside. Someone please remind me, which one is Devin impersonating, Bill or Ted? I guess Ashley, be excellent to each other. I guess Ashley showed she isn't a goat by goading Joe into botching the challenge. Ben says heart and morals don't win the $1 million, neither do lying and bossiness. Was I the only one thinking of cartoon wolves with their eyes bulging out and tongues hitting the floor when the male tribe members ogled Desi, sashaying into tribal? That's such a nice word, sashaying. That fits that dress she had too, huh? I hope Dr. Mike's inept tribal play was a clever ruse to get him carried along as a goat. Jeff needs glasses. A few whispers and quiet nods at tribal isn't chaos. So Cole's now at Ponderosa. They'd better order more supplies or he'll eat them out of house and home. Next time, are the Knights of the Round Table finally imploding, or is it only a flesh wound? That's a nice Monty Python reference there. Come back here, I'll bite you. Anyway, that's it for me now. Thanks, Joanna Stacy, for all you do. I can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Thank you, Josh. You packed so much comedy into one single feedback. That's really cool. There's a lot of thought that goes into that, and we deeply appreciate it. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Rashmi.
Hello, Joanne and Stacy and all my Survivor friends. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in States and in Australia who enjoy. And I'm really thankful for my relatives who are looking after my younger son who's in America at the moment. Well, about Survivor. Last week, earlier in the week, yes, I watch Family Guy. Yes, I do. At my age, people will laugh, but it was really funny because it started off with previously on Survivor by Jeff Probst's voice, and then they had this little thing of snuffing the torch and all. It was really funny. I really enjoyed it. Now on to Survivor. What I really liked was the Indian themed background music. That was really cool. And my USB, Dr. Mike, what is his strategy? I was so worried for him. And why did he play his idol this time? And I hope he survives. I really do, because I'm not having great luck with my USBs this season. And Mr. Ryan, the weasel, he does look very weaselly. And I agree, I don't think he's gonna last long. And he kept saying, what's in my shorts? What's in my pants? What's in my pants? And I thought, oh my God, just stop saying that. And I think that's about it. I really did enjoy the show. And I am looking forward to having my USB survive for a couple of episodes. And that's it. Okay, guys, enjoy your feast. Have fun. Cheers, Rashmi.
Thanks, Rashmi. That's great. Getting chastised by Rashmi. Shut up about your shorts. All right, let's see. Where are we going? We're going counterclockwise around the big island there. Next up, we got audio from Jill.
Hey, Joanne, Stacey. Hi, Survivor fans. Jill from the Outback here. Just been listening to your recap of the last episode. And, Joanne, I'm glad I'm not the only one that was confused about what Mike's plan was. I get that he wanted to draw votes onto himself and then he could use the idol. But then with the vote split, it was still going to be, one of his allies that was going to go anyway, either Cole or Joe. I don't disagree with him playing his idol for himself, but I think he was doing it for the wrong reasons. And if he was trying to sort of cheese everyone off and draw the votes onto himself, then shouldn't he have started that earlier on in the day and not just suddenly turned into a agitator at the start of Tribal Council? So I don't reckon that Mike did himself any favours there last night. And I don't think Ryan did either by telling both Devon and Ben that about his idol, that, I don't know if you picked it up, it was in his pants, by telling both of them. He must trust both of them a fair bit to think that they weren't going to talk to each other. Going to be interesting to see what they do next week about the core 7. Looks like they might start to unravel. You only need a couple of the bottom ones of that to draw in a few of the other votes. And you've got Mike and Joe sitting over there who'll vote with whoever just to keep themselves in the game. I reckon Ryan might be in a little bit of trouble. And then Chrissy. And it was funny. God, that was funny when Chrissy said to Ben about, people think you're steamrolling them. No, they don't. Yeah, they do, Ben. That'll probably do for my disjointed thoughts for the week. Thanks for the podcast, Joanne and Stacey. Love it, and look forward to the feedback show. Happy days, everyone. Bye.
I like that, Jill. And that was funny how you did it, but you left out the next thing that he said. He said, no, they don't. And then he said, you might, and Ashley might, because he didn't agree with them and their choice to focus on Joe.
Okay, we heard your perspective already.
Well, it's not just my perspective. Okay. Good deal. Thanks again, Jill. Next up, we're going to continue on around. We got audio from Jody.
Hey, Survivor family, it's Jody in Brisbane. So what I want to know is, Stacey, was this study of pink and passive behaviour conducted on colourblind people? I'd really like to know. I'd also like to know is if the person wearing pink is perceived as passive, or the people who are looking at the person wearing pink, do they become passive? If the person viewing the person wearing pink becomes passive, then maybe if you ever got on the show, wearing pink might be a good idea, depending. So I'm a bit sick right now and my head's going in circles, as you may have already picked up on. So just a couple of things. How cool was that footage of the octopus just emerging from the coral and then disappearing into it again? That was really, really cool. And what was with Desi's outfit? It was green, Stacey. What's the meaning behind that? It was like she was on a different show. Her and Jessica both need to go to The Bachelor. I think in Desi's case, green would be aggressive. I don't know. I kind of think green is peaceful, but the way she wore it, super aggressive. Mike's play of the idol was really confusing. I didn't understand why he was doing that. But then when you look back a couple of votes, if he sees himself as third, as in Cole 1, Joe 2, Mike 3, that's kind of the order they've been chucking people out in. Jessica was the third vote. Or, it wasn't obvious. She was the third choice. And Mike would have been the third choice tonight. So it could have come down to them thinking, okay, they could play the idol on, but, And so, if you're going to play it on yourself, be preserved, whatever, but it was a little confusing, and I really didn't understand the gibberish that he kind of came out with. It was a big blank of grey. Those are the colours for today, pink, green and grey. I don't really think they go together, but what do I know? Okay, thanks guys, bye.
I like that. The color scheme for the episode. That was pretty clever, huh?
I really think it's just a macho thing with Stacey there.
No, it's not. I'm quoting actual references from my psych class. And to answer Jody's question, what they had done was they had painted rooms different colors, and then they did test to quantify behavior. So it's really the observer. I don't know if the amount that you could wear, granted, there's a lot of me to display the color, but I don't know if that would be enough to necessarily trigger the reaction. And plus, after day 3, it's all just kind of a dirt color, your clothes, right?
So how did that apply to not allowing Zeke our little male dog, to wear
What are you talking about? Where are you going with
his
this?
water flotation thing in pink. You absolutely
I said let's get him another color.
refused. We had to go search for it at another store because my son is not wearing pink. We'll buy the pink for Uma, but Zeke cannot wear pink. And we had to go look at other stores for a
I don't
different
know.
color
I have no
for
recollection
your
of what
son.
you're referring to, so
Yeah,
I can't
right.
comment on it.
Yeah, well, you know it's true.
I think I answered Jody's question. Although I agree with her description of Desi's dress. She did wear that aggressively, regardless
That
of the
just
color.
didn't fit tribal council or...
It didn't fit tribal council, like she said. It would be better on The Bachelor with her and
I wasn't
Jessica.
even sure exactly why she
looking
brought
for a
that
showmance.
with, but...
And it didn't fit her the way it did before she wore it coming out there.
No,
so.
it looked a little big on her.
Yeah, it looked... Or maybe that was just the design. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Given that I said it didn't fit her, and then I realized, oh yeah, she didn't lose that much weight, so...
7 pounds.
Yeah. Was it Cole lost 13, I think? Isn't that what it was?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot either. Okay, when you don't go out with a lot to lose and you lose muscle, I guess you lose less, huh? Good deal. Next up, we got email from KittyCat in Virginia.
Happy Thanksgiving to all American Survivor fans. Greetings to everyone else. This week saw my wits boldly addled by cold medicine. I not only had Cole safe, I had Lauren as my vote out pick.
That's great.
Here's wishing for speedy recovery for my body and wits before next week, as Stacy is now on the same level as I am. Anyway, I hope everyone has a safe weekend, travel, and good family times. All right, same to you, Kitty Cat.
Yeah, and I'll wave as I go by.
Oh. We'll see about that.
Oh, okay. Next up, we got a call from Jen.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen in California. Well, it has finally happened. Cole is finally gone. I have to say that vote out is one that I've really been hoping for weeks and weeks. While I'm enjoying this season immensely and enjoying the cast, I just really have not enjoyed his gameplay at all. Now, I'm all for, watching players that frustrate me. Joe is someone who is frustrating for me to watch, but I enjoy his gameplay because he's strategic. I see the enthusiasm for the game that he has, and my frustration with Joe is just that he's not who I'm rooting for. Cole, on the other hand, just does not make sense to me. The fact that he couldn't keep secrets, and the fact that he didn't see that not keeping secrets was a betrayal of people really bothered me, and bothered me especially when the tables were turned on him and he was so indignant and upset that people had lied to him and betrayed him. None of that really just resonated with me at all. I don't even know where else to go with this. I'm happy that he's gone. I think Ryan made a huge mistake this week in terms of betraying Devin in a way. I mean, I know this is a single-player game. You're playing for yourself. I don't know. I'm less disappointed in Ryan and more disappointed in Ben. I just really don't like it when people tell other people's secrets. But then again, I mean, that's bad on Ryan for trusting Ben. I guess he shouldn't have trusted Ben. But that's put him in a pretty precarious situation. I think he's going to become a target far sooner than he thought he was going to be. I don't think I'm going to be surprised to see Ryan's name show up on a few parchment papers sooner rather than later. I like how Ben is playing the game, but I don't like how aggressive he's being. I wish that he'd be a little bit more cloak and dagger with the moves that he's making. I don't think he's real comfortable with sitting in the back seat and letting somebody else drive for a bit. Props to Chrissy and Joe for both being alert and aware that at rewards you might find an immunity idol clue. It's kind of funny how they're not being secretive about it, but the fact that they're aware of it means to me that they know the game, they enjoy playing it, and they're playing it hard. Trying to think of what else I can say. My absenteeism in the last few weeks has kind of made me feel a little bit disjointed about my feedback, but I'm going to try hard to be more consistent, because for me, participating in giving feedback on this podcast for me is just as important as listening to everybody else. It just kind of helps me feel more connected, and I'm going to try and do a better job till the end of the season with that. With that, I can't wait to hear what everyone else has to say. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving here in the States, and till next time. Bye.
Excellent. Great to have your voice back on the show again. Thanks, Jen. Next up, we got audio from Paul. He was able to get his feedback in before he took off on his big adventure.
Hey, Paul, Louisiana here. And you know what? This week I had Ben picked to go. And when Mike told Joe to follow his lead, I thought it might actually happen. But again, I'm unsure as to the how and the why of the end result. I think Mike was foolish for playing his idol the way he did. I understand that he didn't exactly trust Ben, but his solution to the problem lacked what? Finesse? It's like it wasn't thought out or even played out all the way through. Of course, I'm rushing to get this feedback in, and I haven't had time to process it all, so perhaps it was the best he can do. And JP, wow, that was an impressive move when you dove into the water and came up with that thing that some people call a buoy and other people call a buoy. But you know what? That draws a target on you. And what was with JP after that squatting balance challenge? He was off to the side with his back turned to all the action, and I honestly thought something might be wrong with him. I know it was hard on his back, but I will say that I was worried there for a moment. Joe, this guy needs to go. This guy is so annoying. I don't understand why players think that peeving people off is a good strategy. Am I wrong? I mean, has anyone ever won doing this? It gets you close, but Joe, come on, make no mistake about it. It gets you to the end because you are the GOAT, not Ashley. And then there's Ben and Ryan, who are both falling apart. Ben is so deaf to the fact that he's becoming a dictator that he won't even listen to Chrissy, who is one of his trusted ally members. We saw her try to tell him, but it just fell on deaf ears. Ryan, he's got less of a voice, but by telling Ben that he had that idol, I think he shot himself in the foot. So, the next on Survivor seems very interesting, but I can't for the life of me figure out what would make Ashley good with the idea to work with Joe. I need more time to process this one. I want to say that she wants Ben gone, but we know how batty Joe makes her. I'll need to think this through a little more. I do suspect a double boot is coming up, so even though I'll be overseas, I'll be checking in before the show airs to see if I need to get another vote-off pick in. Currently I'm lost, but I'm leaning towards Mike right now. Some people say it gets easier to make your picks after the merge happens, but you know what? I'm not one of those people. Everyone take care. I'll be back in 2 weeks. My cold is gone, and look out, pyramids, here I come. Bye now.
Awesome.
Yeah, he went in the pyramids today.
Yeah? You saw a
posted
picture?
A picture, yeah.
Nice.
Cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I was glad you were able to get your feedback in, too. Yep, that's definitely challenging. There was in one of the extra videos for Ashley, she talked about how she saw the need to get rid of Chrissy. So that might be part of what prompts the shift. Mm-hmm. Might not be so much Ben as it is Chrissy, because she's had her target on her for a while. She was just biding her time. She's been very patient with that.
You wouldn't think anybody would want to go to the final three with Chrissy. Because a lot of people are like, oh, she's mothering everybody, and people like her.
Yeah, and Ashley did mention that. Although you got to think, is the edit got us biased against her, where she doesn't come off
I don't know.
so well, and that she might, I mean, she's definitely aggravated some people. Like you could hear that with Shea. I was listening to Shea's description of her and I was thinking, oh yeah, she's the version that I have been given a Chrissy is like that lady that talks about you behind your back at church. That's what, she's all smiles. And then, I'm not saying that Chrissy does that. It's just what Shea's description and why she didn't like her made me think of that type of person. And you find out, oh, she's been running her mouth about me at church again. Oh joy.
You're a little strange.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, I do think the edit, I feel like I can see some of the edit manipulating our emotions around what's really happening.
Yeah, for sure. Drew's been really good pointing out a lot of that and how it's affected him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're we're sensitive to it. We don't always pick up on it. Sometimes we just are responding to it. Yeah. Yep.
And that's the way it works. They're telling a story.
And they've conditioned us to look for that by getting us all the way to the end and then completely bum puzzling us with the result. And we're like, hey, we didn't see any of that.
We didn't see that.
So now we look really closely at everything they do, trying to figure out what it means. And some of it...
one way and the other way.
Sometimes it doesn't mean anything, and sometimes it's significant.
Well, that's why I like to have the interviews in case they, and to hear people's opinions about how they feel when they were out there and what they thought of other people and how they were playing.
Imagine if you got to be there with Ryan this week when he was watching and he saw Ben and Devin having that discussion. And he was like, oh, that's where it all started to fall apart. Right there. Yeah, Ben, you rat.
Well, he made himself a target with that whole I've got an idol thing, too.
Yep, sure.
I just don't, it can...
You don't got to worry.
You just don't know if it's going to be a good thing for you.
Right here in my pants.
Yeah. Or it's going to be against you.
Yeah.
Because anybody with one is a threat.
And they're walking along, when he said that both times, they're walking along in the jungle. There's clearly someone with a camera either behind him or in front of him, right beside him. So he's thinking about how that's being said for effect. Just like what Paul and several of the others were describing Mike's. What we got to see of Mike's fumbled attempt to make some grand speech at tribal council is just definitely a lack of finesse. And like Jody said, there was seemed to be some gibberish involved there.
Well, I think sometimes when you overthink something, it doesn't always come out the way you think because you overthought it, and so it doesn't come out naturally. And I think people who are fans or who really care about what their family thinks and how they're going to be perceived, they get caught up in that a little bit instead of just going with what's happening, and they don't stay in the moment.
Right.
Always.
Yeah, you can take yourself out of it and start directing yourself for effect or something like that.
Sometimes that's too far ahead.
I can recall doing presentations at work where I would go get a mocha with a double shot of espresso in it before I did the presentation, and then it's my turn to present whatever the topic is, and I just blah, 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 through it. I was watching myself as I was doing it and thinking, hey, slow down, I got to make these points. And
what, you were a chatty Cathy?
Yeah, well, it's just kind of like the gibberish that Mike was throwing out there. You got all these things you want to say, and you're going to do this for effect and to help convey the point, and you get done.
And you lose
like,
the point.
Yeah, you get done, and everybody's just like, what? What was wrong with him? They can't remember anything you said because you're such a goofball in your delivery.
Because they were caught up and going, what is he doing?
Yeah, why is he talking so fast? Why is he flipping through the slides so quickly? Yeah, so something like that. It did seem like Mike bungled the presentation.
Well, that's how I felt all with it. Like, what? What is he doing?
Yeah.
And then when I saw he voted for Cole, it's like, what?
What was all that for? Yeah. Okay, well, hopefully we'll be able to solve that mystery eventually.
Well, I think I understand it a little better.
A little more, but to know for sure would be nice, right?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
I think it was more of a make sure it's not me, but it just didn't. I was expecting him to go after Ben. Like he said initially to Joe. Yeah. So, and that didn't happen. So, I guess that's what threw me.
And he's trying to. He tells Joe, "Just go with me, work with me on this."
Yeah, follow my lead.
And what?
I couldn't follow.
What was the lead? We didn't get a lead.
How was Joe supposed to follow?
Right. He pitched it over to him at one point in the course of one of his answers, but yeah, that just
Joe seemed to take it with humor.
Yeah, I don't think he has anything else. We've clearly seen the seven do, to their credit, really well, is they've shut down Cole and Joe. Mike's still got some kind of life, although they keep telling him the wrong person to vote for until this time.
Or at least he did.
Yeah. He may have severely dug too deep, like Lauren was pointing out in tribal council. But Cole and Joe, you can tell, they are shut out. They've got nothing. That one extra clip where Joe comes up, all of them are sitting down on the beach, and he comes up and he just kind of kills the conversation by showing up. So they're really, I think they're freezing him out to a degree. And you could tell Cole was in the little bit that he said at tribal council, nobody talks strategy with me. Well,
gee.
beyond the obvious reasons. Yeah. they don't have any use for him, so there's not much
they
discussion.
learned early on not to do that.
Although I'm still puzzled by, not in a significant way, I'm just puzzled by Ryan's remark. Because we never saw a relationship with him and Cole. And with what Ryan says when he voted, it made you think that he was voting out someone significant.
Well, didn't he say something like, I'm really confused, but sorry, bud?
Yeah, I don't
Something
know
like
about the
that.
really confused part, but it was...
I thought he did.
It was like a personal statement to someone that you would think he had a relationship with the
Sorry,
game,
buddy.
but we didn't really get any of that from Cole, so...
You know what I thought was interesting in the Ponderosa video? That Desi had Cole pegged pretty good. So she must have learned a lot about him in the beginning of the game because they were on the tribe
Healers
together
tribe,
then.
yeah.
But she had a jar of peanut butter and an orange soda that she greeted him with
Yes, you
when he
remembered,
came
right?
in, and
Yeah.
and he was like, "Whoa, couldn't have greeted me with anything better." And then she had already pre-ordered a great big thick hamburger with fries and a whole
Pizza for him to eat, yeah.
And she's like, "Well, sorry, you can order anything you want. I just thought this would be a good start." He's like, "No, it's perfect."
Yeah.
So I thought, well, she had him down pretty good.
Yep.
Pre-ordered everything for him.
Yeah, and he rewarded her with a nice hike up to the waterfalls.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
that
and
was
you could tell he really enjoys that. I could see him in that element more, taking people and showing them what he loves. And I could see him being really good at
I understood the premise of that, but the only thing I kept thinking the whole time was, well, you've never been here, so what is it? It was his first time, too. So
Yeah, but it was nature. He loved it, and it was an
being
adventure.
outdoors, yeah, I
Yeah,
got it, that
yeah.
part. Something about it just didn't jive, I guess, with me.
Yeah.
In any case, yeah, and it didn't offer any greater insight into Cole.
Well,
so
but they were making TV too.
yeah, there you go. Yep, another beautiful part of the island. Good deal. Anything else you want to say about episode 9 before we head off into the next one?
I can't think of anything.
You got a prediction? Who's going to go? Will the pagonging continue?
Right now,
The pagonging is easy,
I'm
right?
gonna
Just
say,
go with
yeah.
that.
I'm gonna say
Joe and
it's
Mike
gonna
next
stay
to
Joe
go?
Mike.
Yeah, okay. Good deal. I'm with you. That's where my head is right now, too. And doubles are good for that.
I think the Lauren and Ashley going to them and approaching them was a red herring.
Okay. Hey, we want to say a big thank you to everybody who took their time during this very, very busy week to send in your thoughts and predictions. We enjoyed them. You made us laugh. You made us think, as always. We want to give a big thanks to Emily and Doris for your donations. We greatly appreciate your support, and that goes towards our operational costs. Thank you so much. We appreciate your generosity there.
Well, and we can look forward to the 2-hour episode next week. So those of you who play JSFL, make sure that you get your 2 vote-off picks and 4 safe picks. Get those in before the deadline on Wednesday. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific.
It's rare. You got the pagonging to go with. Usually the doubles are really tricky to try to navigate and figure out who it's going to be, but just fall back on the pagonging. It'll make it easy for you.
Or not.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be giving it a little more thought between now and then.
Oh, you know we will.
So that means we'll end up actually doing 3 interviews this
and
week,
probably
right?
won't do either of those. We'll end up doing something different. But
We'll do
one
Cole
on Monday,
and
2
then we'll
on
do
Thursday.
a double on Thursday. Okay.
Yep.
Busy week. Jinx. Anything else?
No, I don't think so. Just everybody have a great rest of the weekend and enjoy yourselves.
Have a good one.